Hey everybody, and welcome to another Geeky Grind. Shoot, I don't have a coffee with me, but I did have one beforehand. That's why I'm so pumped and energetic. Just had a nice little drip coffee with some of that caramel coffee mate creamer, the caramel latte stuff. That stuff is addictive and not on my diet, so I need to avoid it as much as I possibly can. So I'm only having one cup this morning, but today we were talking about how I painted this beautiful Parasite of Mortrex. I'll just get back here in the light better for you. Yeah, I love my color scheme for my nids. Just that the way with the zenathal highlighting and the translucentness of the fluorescent paints, how it comes through, and it does give me this natural skin type color to it. And then adding the wash over it, it just looks really good. I'm just using the game wash from Vallejo, but it's got that really, silky, shiny gloss to it, so it really does look like some sort of like alien skin all covered in slimy. Totally makes the bugs look like bugs. So, to dive into what did we use for paints on this model. Should have had my notebook all flipped up for you. Epic. Oh, he didn't make the notes. Past Fen, what are you doing to me? Alright, let's see if I can remember this off the top of my head. So, yeah, we're definitely using some Black Templar contrast paint for the black on the armor pieces, the carapace bony protrusions. We're using some neon pink, some neon purple, some neon blue, and neon yellow. Yeah, just sticking to our black and 3 neon paints. Oh, a little neon green on the mouth, like I always like to do. So yeah, pretty simple. These are done just with the apple barrel acrylics you can get from Walmart. Yeah, do not have to invest a total lot of cash in painting the nids. It's craft paint. Just dilute it down with about 25% water. Make sure that when you put your craft paints over into a dropper bottle, that you are adding, I like to put 2 little mini BBs into those bottles before, so I can get them nice and thoroughly shook up. And let's watch the painting video here. So I'm gonna start it up, switch screens here. Yeah, we're just coming in with our purple. Just gonna slap that all over every part that we want to be our skin tone. And you can see I really am slopping it in over here. I'm putting one good thick coat, just because of how this stuff dries. You really want to have total coverage, and because it's weird. It doesn't like adhere as well as other paints do. Doesn't go on as smooth. So you really want to put a good thick coat, so that way when it dries up, it will shrink a bit on you. And if you don't get a thick enough coat, then you have like all that weird effect, which honestly on nids, on alien skin, you want that mottled look, where some parts aren't as translucent as the others, so it gives some texture to it. But if you go too light, you'll have way too much of that texture and it won't look natural. But definitely slop it on. So while we're finishing the rest of this base coat of the skin, I just want to talk about the actual model itself. What really got me into Tyranids was the whole fact that they are these alien bugs, and two of my favorite sci-fi movies of all time are the second Aliens movie, as well as Starship Troopers. I love this idea of, you know, bugs and marines going at it. You know, this idea of an alien infestation, and you've got to come down and kill every single one of them you see, like scorched earth, leave nothing left alive behind these things. That's why, you know, my Tyranid army that I showed off in my army showcase a couple weeks ago, or was it last week? I really don't know. I'm losing track of when these videos are coming out. But in my showcase, like, you could see that almost everything in my army, you know, I don't have a lot of huge bugs. All my stuff is lots of little bugs. I've got, you know, 8 Ripper Swarms. I've got 36 Gene Stealers. I've got only 10 Gargoyles, and I've got like 24 Termagants and 24 Hormagants. Like, I love swarm style nids. The big beasties, the, you know, all the huge monsters wasn't really my playstyle, so I didn't really play. I didn't, you know, really want to play that Army of Renowned when it came out. I was just like, no, I like little stuff. And like I said, that's because Starship Troopers and Aliens are two of my favorite things. Well, two of my favorite movies. And I loved Starship Troopers as that whole thing of just that alien tide. That scene when they're at Whiskey Outpost and all the bugs are just, you know, dying in mass to build a wall of bodies that they could climb over to get over the barricades. Like, that whole thing of like, oh my god, I don't know how many they're going to use to kill us, but I don't know how many it's going to take to kill us, but I know how many they're going to use. And the scene in Aliens when they're coming through the ceiling and there's just that horde coming at everybody. It's that desperation of just sheer fact of being overnumbered. Has always just been cool to me. So I love having that horde style army. And then when this model, I didn't play 40k, like in 2nd edition, in like 99, I played like 3 games of this. Warhammer 40k was like big and popular at one of the gaming stores that used to be in my hometown. But during the time I was playing the Star Wars card game and couldn't be bothered to get into a second game because I was a broke high school student. So I traded a bunch of Magic the Gathering cards with one of my friends. He gave me like enough to make like a combat patrol of Chaos Marines, and those are what I have in my army is my 2nd edition Chaos Marines. But I didn't even know about the Tyranids as being a faction back then. So I probably would have played Tyranids if I would have known back then. But no, so I knew nothing about the Parasite of Mortrex. I just love saying the name, Parasite of Mortrex. And the fact that it infects your opponent with these, with the Ripper Swarms. That's just so, to me, that's just so freaking cool. And, oh, it looks like I'm using Abaddon Black, not Black Templar for this project. Wow. Okay. I knew I was using a black of some, I knew I was using a Games Workshop black of some kind in here. But yeah, I'm just going through and hitting all of my armor carapaces in black. Doing a little thin coat. That's why I thought it was Black Templar. I'm just doing one thin coat to get everything covered. Again, I'm going for that, you know, mottled. It's somewhat transparent, letting a lot of my zenathal highlight come through with these paints. And come back in, touch up the areas of purple that meet the black that I didn't get as well the first time around. Also, you can see there's some shrinkage of the paints, so I gotta go back in, do my second coat on these, just touch up, fix up any spots that need a little bit more purple. And like I said, you can get by with using craft paints. You know, you don't have to go out and buy the big expensive stuff as long as you're willing to do this step a lot, going back through and touching up. Again, you know, hitting your layers. Get a good first base coat. It's probably not going to be that good coverage. Coming back in and touching up the spots that didn't get as good coverage. That way you're not building up too many layers, but you are getting through and getting everything covered. So one of the reasons why I switched over to Game Citadel was just the whole fact of I like to speed paint, and I like to be able to get these things done. Alright, so we're on to the pink in the wings. Again, you can see like how watery this looks, where it's not covering completely. Again, I'm going for that look. I'm going for that look of like the skin's a little stretched, so it's going to be a little, you know, a little not as deeply colored in some spots. Just to go for some texture. Again, it's why I would use crafting paints for doing stuff like Tyranids, where they gotta look a little weird, a little alien-y. But again, back to the whole reason why I wanted this model as soon as it came out, was that whole fact of it's not the face hugger, but you know, it kind of does look a bit like one, like where its wings are all opening up and they've got all those claws on it, where it could definitely just like swoop down, envelop somebody, and then fly away, which it actually can do because of the strat. It lets you, if you fly over somebody, you can infect them. You know, this thing being the monster that injects you with alien babies that burst out of your chest. The fact that when you're infected, it removes obsec. Yeah, I was thinking this was so great, and it's not a unique, limited one per army model. It's just the whole fact of like, you're only, because it's a stratagem, and you're only going to be able to use it once a charge phase. That's why I think it's limited. Like, a lot of people aren't playing more than one of these things, but I could really see myself actually fielding 3 of these in an army, just to get that infecting, you know, removing obsec, and really just adding to the horror level of like, yeah, you're gonna lose some dudes. Dudes are gonna die. They're gonna get infected. I'm just in love with this model. It hits all my sci-fi nerd tropes and is much, much, much love. Yeah, you can definitely see here on this wing with the zenathal highlight how I got that darker area on that wing, on the darker areas on the wing where it's, yeah, the translucentness of the paint is really working in those spots to give me that darkness. So I'm just going to go back over with an extra coat. This is where we're bringing in our green, just a little bit of green, just to get around the mouth. This, I don't know, in my head canon, it's just like all of them have got that green, drooly slime, somewhat acidic. Alright, and now we're just going in and hitting our egg sacs. Again, this is, a lot of people ask me, like, where do you get that stuff? It's just the fake snow from, yeah, it's just the fake snow from the Dollar Tree that they have around Christmas time. I just bought like 2 packages and put them into a coffee container for storage and called it good. Alright, now our black is in the rim. Probably should have let that dry a little bit more before I start working it in. You can definitely see where that yellow mixed with a little bit with the black on the ring, but that's only really going to show up when I hit this thing with a black light. But alright, now for the fun. Now here's the finishing touch. Coming in, and we're just edge highlighting all of the carapace with a little bit of white. And not being too precise with this, because I do want to have it be like, maybe there's some areas where the armor has gotten chipped and it's new growth, and all that new growth edge gets hit with the blue. Just love how it makes the armor pop, just giving that little bit of neon blue to the trims of it. But yeah, once I finished up all the trim, I gave this a little bit of a wash just to darken up some finer details. Now it is ready to go off and infect a bunch of space marines and other tyranids, and well, if one of the boys down at the store is still playing Necrons, I don't know how Necrons get infected with parasites, but that's gonna happen. I know sometimes in this game the stories get a little weird. Like, I can see it infecting some AdMac. It's like, Necrons should totally be immune. They should totally have the whole thing of like, yeah, we can't be infected with parasites. But they're living metal, so I guess there's some biomass in there somewhere, some fleshy little bits that the Rippers can feast upon. But it's a short video today. I just want to thank everybody for joining me, and I'll see you next time with another Geeky Grind. Hopefully I'll have a coffee that I'll drink. I'll wait to drink my coffee before I get on camera. That's all for this week. Peace.